Hello and welcome to Binge. I'm Alex Jones.
And I'm Harry Judd.
And we are going to help you find the best things to watch, to read, or listen to over the summer.
Yeah, we've done all the homework so you guys don't have to.
Now, this is our mini-series for the summer and we are bringing you the best of our guests so far.
Today, it's films you need to watch. Joining us now is the undisputed king of rom-coms. It is, of course, Richard Curtis.
Can I talk about my favourite?
Yeah,
Please
can
do.
we hear your favourite?
It's called The Ballad of Wallace Island, and it's a tiny British movie.
Tim Key.
Tim Key and Tom Basden and Kerry Mulligan, and there are about 7 people in it. And I and Em watched it, and we said this is one of the 10 greatest British movies of all time. It's just absolutely, it's funny. You will love it. It's about pop music. It's about loneliness. Mm-hmm. It's really romantic in a kind of muddy way. It's set on an island in Wales. I think they shot it in Wales, but I think it feels like Scotland.
I mean, that's even better now. That's tick, tick,
but
tick.
All I can say is it's funny, moving, and please go to the cinemas and see this absolutely classic. It's as good as Local Hero, which is almost my favourite movie of all time. It's really, really wonderful.
I mean, that is probably the most watertight recommendation we've had.
Yeah.
Richard Curtis recommending a British film. It doesn't
Yes,
get any better,
it
does
British
it?
romantic musical film.
Yeah, we're hoping to get Tim Key on the podcast.
He is so funny.
He
and
is
one
so
of the
funny.
bees that I have in my bonnet about the Oscars is the infuriation that they tend not to nominate comedy performances. If you look at the performances that were nominated for the Oscars in the year that Peter Sellers was in the first Pink Panther movie, or Will Ferrell was in Elf, these extraordinary, imaginative performances that have lasted a lifetime, and instead they nominate some bloke who shouts a bit. It's a really great, hilarious, deeply touching comedy performance.
I'm
by Tim.
really excited to see that. But what we did watch, which I thought was absolutely stunning, was The Salt Path.
Now this is the adaptation of the book.
Yes. So this is the film, as you say, based on the book. It's a true story. Raina Wynn and her husband Moth, who's been diagnosed with an illness, go along the southwest coastal path. They go all the way to Land's End in the end. Mm-hmm. And because they've got nothing else to do, essentially. And Charlie...
Because he has a terminal illness, yeah.
And Charlie had been given this book by my sister, but she gave it to him when he was very ill in hospital. Mm-hmm. And he'd read the first few chapters, but found it a bit much because it was all about the illness of this man and he was feeling pretty ill at the time. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't finish it. So I read it, absolutely, loved the book, and then was really excited to see the film. Gillian Anderson plays Raina Wynn and Jason Isaacs, the husband. Oh, honestly, there's barely anybody else in it. And it is absolutely fantastic. It's the best example of when a film hasn't been a letdown after the book. It's really true to the book. And even if you haven't read it, Charlie absolutely loved it as well. And we were both in bits at the end of it.
I imagine this, if it already probably is, but will become even more popular, this actual walk itself.
Well, I think the thing about it is they had no money, nothing. And that's why they did this walk. Mm-hmm. They were living in a tent. He had this horrendously debilitating illness, and they just walked and they walked and they walked. And then she would write notes every night on this sort of guidebook. And then she transcribed it all as a gift for his birthday. And then he said, you should get this published. And of course, now the upside is they've got, I imagine, quite a lot of money now because the book did so well and now it's been turned into this film. And so it's just a really nice story. It's really uplifting. So 2 million books have been sold and the film is out on the 30th of May. Joining us now is a TV icon, synonymous with many of our childhoods as host of The Big Breakfast. These days, you can catch her brightening up our mornings on Morning Live here on Magic Radio. And you can download her uplifting podcast, Reasons to Be Joyful. Please welcome the wonderful Gabby Roslin.
What's the last film you saw in the cinema?
Better Man.
Oh,
Just brilliant. I'm very pleased that Rob has won. It's beginning to win some awards. I think it should have been up for more BAFTAs and Oscars. I really think it was superb. I took my younger daughter. My elder daughter is seeing it today. So there we go,
nice.
coincidentally. But my younger daughter, who said, I don't want to. She came out and she says it's one of the best films that she's ever seen.
I would agree with your daughter.
we both absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was a bit the same. Don't get me wrong, I really like Robbie, but I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be that fussed about this. And yeah, I mean, when it finished, I just looked around the cinema. We were lucky enough to go to the premiere and just jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
And came out and
blows
people
you
had
away.
tears in their eyes. It was
I think it's
the most
outstanding.
Did you cry,
incredible
Gabby?
film.
I did. Also, it's no secret that I've known Robbie since he was 16 and we've been friends for years. And it's really weird. I'm welling up now. I don't think I could ever feel quite so proud of an old friend as I do with that film. And I loved the film. But it's interesting seeing that after watching Boy Bands Forever and now the Boyzone one.
Doc, yeah.
Watching those and seeing what Rob went through, it's... Hey, I mean, you know better than anybody, but it's it just puts a lot into perspective.
Yeah.
You mentioned Boyzone. Have you seen that one?
Yes,
Enjoy?
I watched that. I have a lot of opinions on certain people who were in that, but my goodness, because they've all been, so all of them from Take That's very first, I think their first TV show was on Motormouth, which I did, a Saturday morning kids show, and Boyzone were on The Big Breakfast, and Take That did a takeover. All of these bands, and then all of you guys, all of the boy bands. I know you're not a boy band, you're musicians, but all of them, I knew lots of them were unhappy, but I didn't realise how unhappy they really were. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And Mikey, just what a lovely guy.
Mikey. But it really does lift the lid, doesn't it? On all of us. I mean, growing up, Boyzone was kind of my era when we were really into boy bands. A little bit before Take That, I think. I probably like Take That a little bit after Boyzone. But you just had no idea what they were going through, did you? Because I was interviewing them all every week and every day. You had a different perspective on it, I suppose, didn't you?
I got some of it, and they did share that they were exhausted. I think that was the thing. They were exhausted.
The relentlessness, isn't it, of it? Joining us now is a master of comedy, the creator of Taskmaster and leader of the Horne section. It's Alex Horne. Hi, Alex.
When you look through, there's 100 movies on a plane and you can't think of a single one you want to watch. So there's one called Next Goal Wins, which I watched, which is this sort of quite sweet movie about a football team. I can't even remember which football team it is. I think it's the Pacific Island, and it's a true story of their first ever win. And I think it's a Taika White. It's the guy Taika. I can't remember. I've never pronounced his surname. And I think it's the bloke who wrote In Between Us as well, Ian Morris. Anyway, it's very sweet. It's brilliant. Really hard. When you get to the end of a movie, you know what's going to happen, but it's really sort of joyous. And on a plane, everything is intensifying anyway. So I think I cried.
Why is that? Because the amount of films I've watched on a plane where I cry, I don't know. It's so strange. Is it something to do with the altitude, or is it?
It's so you get more emotional on a plane, and also tomato juice and gin and tonic taste nicer on a plane.
Because of altitude.
Yeah. Because of altitude.
Bloody Mary
That's
and a sweet movie. That'll do me.
Nobody's ordering tomato juice on the ground. Disgusting. But in the air, suddenly, it's the
Delicious.
nicest thing you've ever tasted.
Yeah, everything is intense on an airplane. But that was the movie that got me. I'd recommend it on a plane. So book a flight that has that
just
movie
to
on.
watch that film.
Okay, it sounds a bit Ted Lasso-y. Is it?
It is a bit, but it's a true story. So it has got a little bit more realism, I suppose. But honestly, it really got me, and I've told everyone to watch it. I've never heard it mentioned by anyone else.
I've never heard of it.
No.
And it's Michael Fassbender as well.
Yes, yeah. Oh, listen, I'm going to keep saying it's really good.
Okay.
I think you'll both love it.
Next Goal Wins.
Lovely.
I'm putting it
Next
on the
Goal
list.
Joining us now is an awesome actress who's donned the forensic white scrubs as Dr. Nikki Alexander in Silent Witness for over 20 years. And we are so excited to welcome Emilia Fox. Hi, Emilia.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Obviously, Emilia comes from a dynasty of actors. So not surprising that your dad played this role, but I suppose you then wanted to watch the remake, or not the modern version, just to see how it would compare, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I'd heard Eddie Redmayne be so sweet about my dad and about loving the film. And, he was just lovely and respectful and kind and generous. So the original was a political thriller about the attempted assassination of Charles de Gaulle in the 60s. And then Eddie's remake has a whole different storyline to it. And is absolutely brilliant. And we binge watched that, couldn't wait to get home at night and just put on another one, which is quite rare because I find with filming and then you go home and parent and stuff, that I don't find enough time to watch television. But actually when you're into something like that,
you
was
make the time.
Just great. And they did great sort of homages to the original film, but they've totally made it their own. And I just loved it.
We spoke about it a lot because you'd started watching it. It was the most expensive program ever made for Sky, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was millions of pounds.
Wow.
And did it look millions of pounds to you? I've not seen this yet.
It did.
Yeah.
It's well worth seeing. It's like a cat and mouse chase across Europe. Beautiful locations.
There you are, 100 million it cost to make.
Do you know what's interesting, actually? Because the other thing that I've been binging in this sort of period of time between Christmas and January is all the films for BAFTA that have been out. And I so rarely get time to go to the cinema, but being able to watch these amazing films, and people are like, I've been talking about Emilia Pérez, just saying, I think this is the most amazing film. They're like, what's it about? And I'm like, I don't know that I can tell you because it will really ruin it.
It's hard, isn't it? We often find ourselves describing films or series that we watch and saying, look, I'm not doing it justice. Just trust me. You have to go watch it. Yeah. Because this did, it won a Golden Globe, didn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic.
And it was in the same category as Wicked, Al.
Was it?
Yes, and it beat Wicked.
And it beat Wicked. Yeah. So we should explain as well, because people are probably wondering, well, hang on a minute, what do you mean now with BAFTA and you're watching all these films? So basically, when is it on the board or are you judging?
You're a BAFTA member.
You're a BAFTA member, so you get the films to watch.
So you get thanked as well when they win an award. Thanks to all the BAFTA members.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But I mean, it's lovely because you get to watch all the films which have been made over the course of the year.
Yeah, lovely. And so that one, Emilia Pérez, was that one of the ones that stood out for you?
I didn't know anything about Emilia Pérez at all. And actually, my brother said, I've heard really good things about it. I watched it. It is the most original film I think I've seen in a long time. And it's about a Mexican cartel leader. Actually, I can't tell you about it because it will just ruin it for you. Really?
Do you know what?
Okay.
I'm sold because you loved it and it's been award winning. So
they
that'll
are
be on my list.
wonderful.